Hey friends, in this video, I'm going to give you an in-depth behind-the-scenes look at my online community, Web Designer Pro, which is built off of Circle. In the fall of 2020, when I decided to launch a paid premium community, I chose Circle and I have not looked back since. Let's take a look in here into my community. I'm in dark mode right now, but you could go into light mode if you prefer. So welcome in to Web Designer Pro, my web design community to teach the business side of web design for web designers. And that's important because when I thought about creating a community, I wanted three main aspects of an online platform. I wanted coaching. I wanted to be able to go live for my students and for my members. I wanted to do different types of calls. I wanted a place to store them that wasn't Facebook or even ideally separate in Vimeo or something like that. I wanted to bring in guest speakers and have expert trainings. So those were a different variety of the coaching aspects that I wanted. I also wanted to be able to communicate directly with my members through DM, which we can do here in Circle, without having to go through a third-party app or something. So coaching was the first aspect of what I was looking for and how Circle has helped me with that. The second aspect is the community. I wanted to have a platform that was built for community, that was organized, that was sleek, that was fast, that looked nice, and helped keep retention for my members and help reduce churn, which Web Designer Pro, since its launch in the fall of 2020, has had a less than 3% churn rate, which for most communities is really, really hard. But a lot of that is because of this incredible experience that Circle has allowed me to create here in Web Designer Pro. And then courses. I have a suite of web design courses for my members, and I wanted to be able to have those in here. That way, when somebody joins, they could have access to everything, and they could have access to coaching, both group coaching with me directly, the community, and then courses as well. Those are kind of the three big C's of what I have here in Web Designer Pro. Now, the first thing that attracted me to Circle was the layout, the flow, and the UX, the user experience. I actually have a video below for you with some of my favorite features, a lot of which we'll cover here. And I will say I'm in light mode right now, but I'm going to go up here to dark mode. I prefer that. And when you log into your Circle, you're able to customize a lot of this, but the home feed is going to look similar to where you'll see the home feed of recent posts from members, upcoming events. I'll show you how the events work, trending posts. I like to think about Circle kind of like Facebook in the way of it being social media-like, to where you can connect and add a lot of different media and things into posts, but LinkedIn to where all of these member profiles are really built out kind of in a way like LinkedIn would for networking and partnerships and things like that. And then a learning management system. So again, personally, I have all of my courses in here as well that members can access so they can get the information they need when they need it. And it's a really nice organized fashion. Again, all through Circle. So let's go to the home feed here and I'll walk you through some of my favorite aspects of this. I do have a Member Central section, which you can customize yourself. When somebody logs into Circle, you can tell them where you want them to start. I have a little guide that helps guide them through how to get started, including once they're ready, posting an introduction. If you have a community, I highly recommend you have an introduction section and make sure you're active there too. And then because I have a lot of content, I actually set up a pathways section that has important information for different areas depending on where they are. Now, this is important because you'll notice this section looks different than, for example, a discussion section. The layout is different. That's one of the main features I love about Circle, because the way this is built, Circle uses what is called spaces, and you can format spaces differently. So if I look at this space right here, I would have the ability to either create a space in the community group, or I could add a whole nother group as well. But if I were to add a space, I can go into the customize section of this space, and here is where I can format this. So I can make a space be this list type grid layout. I can make it a feed, which is kind of more like Facebook style, to where you'll have open-ended posts, or I could make it the card view, which is what you saw over here in the success pathways. I also use the card view under coaching for the guest expert trainings as well, because this is a little more graphic oriented, and it's not really a post that somebody's going to add to. It's more of a collection of trainings. So one of my favorite aspects right up front are the spaces features and how you can customize those to work for you in your community. Now let's take a deep dive here into coaching. As I mentioned, I go live for my members. Now, what's interesting about this, I'm actually recording this while my members are live for a weekly hangout. We'll get to that next, but normally there's a button that says live right here. And when you click that button, it'll open up this window to where there's a few different styles of lives that you can do. You could do a scheduled live event to where you could actually create an event that's going to be upcoming or recurring if you're doing weekly office hours or a guest training or something. You could do a room, which is very similar to Zoom meetings, which is actually what's going on right now in my Community Web Designer Pro, where my members are meeting with each other. Or you could do a live stream, which is more of a webinar style live stream. These are great for Q&As, presentations, workshops, anything that's like Q&A or office hours, things like that. So there's a few different ways you can go live in Circle. Absolutely one of the big selling points for me was this live stream option. And they're great because it's all native within Circle. So you don't need to use Zoom or something that's external and have your people be spread across the internet. You can have them all under your roof, all under your platform. So for paid communities, it's a huge value add. So that's what I have here under upcoming calls with me. These are attached to events, which is my next favorite feature of Circle, because I have all upcoming Q&A sessions and trainings that I'm personally involved with here. But as I mentioned, at the time of recording this, my members are having their weekly pro hangout. And that is more of a room, a group call style section. That's right here. So you can actually format different types of calls. You can create rooms or live streams and put them in different spaces. And right here, we're just seeing the weekly hangouts. Right here, we're just seeing upcoming calls that I'm personally involved with, either trainings or coaching sessions. But if we go to events, we see all the events. Now, if you were to have in-person events or meetups, you can also put those in here. So for example, if I create a new event, let's call this test event, how original, I can select where I would like this to go. So if you're doing a lot of in-person meetups, you could have a space dedicated to in-person meetups. I'm actually about to start doing that for Pro here as we're doing more of those. I can select whether I want it to repeat any number of ways. And here's where I can choose the location, either in person, if it's an external link like a YouTube Live or a Zoom link, or a Circle live stream or a live room. And the difference is what I just showed you. Live room's more of a meeting style. Stream is more of a webinar Q&A style. You can bring people up on the call if you'd like, but this is best for something like office hours. All natively within the events feature. And then of course you can create as many spaces as you want and customize them. For our upcoming calls, people can actually RSVP for these. So my members, as long as they have their time zone set correctly in their profile, can RSVP for these calls, and then they'll get calendar notifications. So you can really bypass a lot of third-party calendar extensions and extra email by just having this native event feature and call feature in Circle. And then I have a separate place for the Q&A sessions that members can revisit and look at. Again, you can kind of customize this yourself, but this has been really helpful as a recap for our weekly coaching sessions. As I showed you in coaching, I have a space dedicated to guest expert trainings that I have here inside of Pro. Usually, we will record these with a live stream feature in Circle if somebody has a Circle profile. If not, that's when we may use Zoom, and then I can just put it in here in Circle. So even if I use Zoom or something external, it lives here. It's housed inside of my Circle Community Web Designer Pro. Now let's bounce over to the community itself. I just showed you my members are currently having our weekly hangouts, but one of my favorite aspects of Circle are these spaces, because you can actually customize these not only with the look, but you can create different types of spaces. So I can go in here, create a space, and you'll see here I can choose a space type. So I can say whether this space that I'm creating is a post, which I could format like I showed you. There's events. I showed you a couple different spaces that I currently have set as events, but I could also create a space that is chat-based, which we're actually going to be doing this moving forward in my Community Pro here, where we're going to have hot topics and really relevant chats that are actually more of like a Slack channel. You could do this for a course, a member directory as well. But even if we look at this, I could do a chat. We'll call this test chat. Sure, we'll put it in community. I'll make it secret for now. And you'll see instead of this being a typical looking space with a layout, if I create this, it is now a chat window. It kind of looks like Slack or something like that. This is very similar to the way it looks inside of the DMs inside of Circle as well. So it's really, really cool. You can customize this and make it your own with the different space types. And as I mentioned, courses. I have a suite of web design courses that you can access here, or you could go to the main courses tab, and then you could get into them from there. Now, here's what's fascinating about Circle. They came out of the gate with their course builder, and I was expecting it to be a bit of a janky, low-grade experience because I was used to using LMS software for courses. Their course builder, friends, is one of the best in the biz. You can access the course dashboard for each individual course to see student results, and you can go into the lessons, and the course builder itself is super user-friendly. There's a ton of ways to customize it. You can link it to certain paywalls. You can even have a lock screen if you want to share it publicly, but somebody needs to join it. You can gate certain members from it with different tiered access. All sorts of things you can do individually with your courses. And the builder itself is awesome. But we head into a lesson here. As a course creator, you have the option to put video and certain media in here, which you can actually embed videos from YouTube, Wistia, Vimeo, like I have here, or you can upload videos directly to Circle and house them here. Put all your content in here, and then you can customize each individual lesson. And on the student view, they see it like this. They see the lesson. They have your entire course here to keep them on track with their progress. And then they can choose whether they want to go in here and leave a comment. You can have a ton of comments here with your students. They can look at the lesson list, or they can see the files that they have attached to the lesson, and they can bookmark lessons. You can actually bookmark anything in Circle. You can bookmark posts, comments, events, lessons like I just showed you, messages. One of the amazing features of Circle that's a bit of a hidden gem are the bookmarks. So the course feature itself is one of the best experiences I've ever had with creating courses and building them all native right here within Circle. So that's a look at the main aspects of my community, Web Designer Pro. Again, for me personally, it's the big 3 C's: coaching, community, and courses, how I have those formatted. Now, I want to take you one level deeper and look at some of the options you'll have here when you build your own Circle community, starting with one of my favorite features in the member directory here. And again, I shared this in the my favorite features video, which is linked below for you. But with your members, you can create custom profile fields. What that means is, depending on your type of community, you may want to have custom fields that they could put in there so people can find each other, partner up with each other. For example, my community is a web design community, so it's really nice to know what website platform members are using. My community is agnostic to website platforms, so we have people using WordPress, Showit, Wix, etc. So what I have in here is you can say what website platform you choose. If you're using WordPress, you can list out what platform you use. And then with my members, everyone has a different area of expertise. Some members are really into SEO, some are into design, some are into development, some are more into marketing. So I have a section here where you can list out your pro specialty. And it looks on a profile like this. As you see here, basic info, but then these custom fields that I've enabled here, every member can list this out. Now, let me show you where this is really handy and super cool. If I go back out to the member directory here, I'm going to see all my members, which is nice, but I want to be able to search somebody. Let's say I'm looking for a Showit designer. Let's say I have a project on Showit. I want to partner up with somebody or know who else uses Showit if I want to connect with them. Well, I can add a filter, and thanks to the custom profile fields, those are going to show up right here, and I can select platform of choice, for example. And to make it easier, I'm going to say contains, and we'll say Showit. And when I click this, anyone who has listed Showit in their profile should pull up. And there it is. How cool is that? Juliana, Jennifer, and Siobhan all use Showit. And because they put this in their profile, I'm able to easily search them. And let's do another test. Let's say I want to find somebody who does SEO. I'm going to clear this out, add filter, and specialties. I'm going to say, I found contains works better because it would have to be written exactly like it is in this section under is. But if it contains SEO, for example, here are all the members who have a focus on SEO in Web Designer Pro. All thanks to the custom profile fields here in the members area. Now, we covered some of this already, posts, spaces, moderation. I wanted to show you something cool about the live feature, because when you do lives inside of your community, you have complete back-end access to every session. You can download these if you wanted to. Like, I could download this and repurpose it, take snippets out for social media, post it on YouTube, whatever. I can download the chat log for when members are chatting live, the transcript, and this is what I do with my replays that I showed you. I can post this to a space. So once I'm done with a live, it usually only takes about 5 or 10 minutes for it to be ready. I go in here, I post to a space, I post this to Q&A replays, and I add a little description about it, and it is up. I don't need to download it and re-upload it to Vimeo or something and then wait for it to buffer and spend 2 hours getting back to it. It's all here native in Circle. This feature alone is worth every penny in my subscription to Circle. And it's just awesome because you get a really good idea of how your calls are doing, how many people are showing up. And this shows me every call. You'll see here the weekly live hangouts. It shows me how many people are attending those, what's going on live right now. And you can always adjust your space and storage options depending on your needs for your community. So that's the live feature. Gosh, it's awesome. Another awesome feature with Circle are the workflows. What this is, in short, is really a way for you to bypass a lot of email automation. Typically, you're going to use ConvertKit or MailChimp and use Zapier to connect some things together. And I still have some things in place, but the workflows, which are they're continuing to add to, are really replacing my need for a separate email software. Because I could do onboarding sequences. I could do a welcome message that's automatic when people join Pro. I could send them a DM that I don't personally send. It just automatically says, hey, welcome to the community. Here's a great place to get started kind of thing. You can do a lot of automations for your paywall, even engagement right here. There's an option to do a workflow for if a member hasn't logged in more than 30 days. I can set this to automatically trigger to send them a message. So many cool ways to use workflows. I've actually been using this to send bulk messages to either everybody in the community or certain profile fields in the community. So I'll often do like 2 times a year, I'll do a check-in to my members, and I will use this bulk message, and I'll use this template, and I'll just say, everyone here, everyone in the audience, everyone in the community, I want to do a personal message, and I just want to say, hey, tell me how last year went. And it will look like it will come from me one-on-one through DMs. Now, that is a full community, so I wouldn't advise doing that with a huge community, but you could do this with these filters. So remember I showed you a little bit ago, I searched like the SEO crowd. If I wanted to just send a message to everyone who does SEO natively in Circle, I could do that right here. I could search the member, I could go in and I could search everyone who has SEO. So everyone has SEO in here. They're going to get a message from me if I choose to do this workflow. Just one of the many ways you can utilize workflows for you and your Circle. Now, the paywalls, another huge feature of Circle that separates it from a lot of other membership platforms, is you can do paywalls natively. And you can make your paywall as simple or as complex as you want to make it. Mine is a one access point paywall at the time of recording this. So my access point, this one paywall gives everybody access to all the areas in Pro. But if I wanted to eventually have a lower tier and a higher tier to separate areas of coaching or calls, you could do that right here. You can give access to certain paywalls in certain spaces in certain groups. And currently, I have 2 price points. Again, at the time of recording this, might look different by the time you see this, but my members at the time of recording this can go annual for this price point or monthly for this price point. And then I can customize the actual checkout window. So once I create this, I save it, and then it gives me a URL. And this is what somebody's going to see when they're about to join, in my case, Web Designer Pro. So you'll see here are the details that I put with the 2 different options. And again, if I had completely different tiers, you could have different payment options for different tiers. All right here, native in Circle. The payment gateways, awesome. And a couple final features I want to show you here, which have really come a long way for Circle. One are the analytics. The analytics, they have made super robust, and you can really get a good feel for how your community is doing here. You can track popular times, popular days, popular spaces, and look at members individually. So I can see who are my top members? Who are the rock stars? Who's showing up? And if you're doing anything to reduce churn and increase retention, I would recommend taking your top members and doing something for them. Send them a gift, maybe do like a member of the month. This is something we're about to institute here in Pro. If you have swag or merchandise or whatever, send some of your top members something because they are the lifeblood of your community. And it's a really great way to track who's doing what. And there's actually, with your member profiles in Circle, there's activity scores. Well, I can't see my activity score because I'm an admin, but I think if I were to go, for example, on Jennifer's profile, and yeah, I can see her activity score. I know she's a rock star, and this gives me a good idea, again, of how members are doing and which ones are the most engaged. And again, if you want to reduce churn, do something special for your rock star members who are really engaged. And they will bring more people into your community. Now, that is a perfect segue for the affiliates. Yes, Circle now has a native affiliate program. So you don't need to use a third-party affiliate program. You can do it right in here. You can set your percentage amount and some more details and have your members be affiliates for you. That way you don't have to sell everything yourself. Look, a community is a collective. It is a membership. So if your members can help sell the community, that's where the true gold lies. So that is a look at Web Designer Pro, which is again built off of Circle. If you would like to set up a Circle of your own, you can use my link, joshhall.co/circle. This is where you can get a free 14-day trial to try out Circle for yourself. Or if you're a web designer, you can also use Circle for your clients. I shared this in the features video, but I want to show you one last thing real quick. I can't help myself. So much fun. You can actually embed a Circle in another website. So if I go into settings, embed, I can take the entire community and embed this as a widget, or I could take a single space or a course or even one lesson separately in another website. I could put this in a WordPress website, for example. So especially for my web designers here, if you want to try Circle out or just get started, Circle has a variety of plans that will suit you and your needs. You can get a basic plan and just embed the whole community or one part of the community in a WordPress site just to get started with it. Now, I have a couple resources for you below to help you even more with getting going with Circle. I have a step-by-step, start-to-finish guide to building your own Circle online community. That's below for you. I also have the features video, which shares some of my favorite features of Circle, some of which we did not cover here. So I recommend checking that out as well to see if Circle is a good fit for you, for your business. So as you can see, all of those reasons and more, such a fan of Circle. Thank you, Circle, while I'm here, for creating this platform that has allowed me to create this incredible business and have such an amazing group of people together online that's out of Facebook, out of other distracting places. We are here to be there for each other and to help each other build our web design businesses, and it's made possible by Circle. So if you want to check it out, again, go to my link, joshhall.co/circle. More resources for you down below to help you build a Circle online community of your own. Cheers, friends.